Tell me a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us about yourself. Just a small introduction. Who are you? Who is Andy?
Andy is a dude from Jersey City, born and raised, who just finds random interests in things every few years, and I tackle them and I try to like perfect each thing. And the first thing was always like, obviously it was photography, and then it went to videos, then it went to DJing, then it went to now music production. Like wherever my mind really takes me, I'm down to just figure it out, try it out, see if I like it, see if I'm good at it. And if I am, bet I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. And now that's just another thing that I like to do.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Go with the flow.
You don't want to force these things, you know?
Yeah. I think that's what sort of makes us both similar too, where we don't really stop ourselves from trying something out. Mm-hmm. Like if we have an interest, we'll jump in and experiment. Like I remember when you started DJing and I was like, damn, really? He's going to jump into that whole world too, huh? And then you started doing, now you're starting to do beats.
Yeah,
and
bro.
It's like a slow progression into these things, but I don't think you should limit yourself, man.
That's what it is. I feel like as a kid, you're instilled in your mind that like you're good at one thing, do that, and you're set. You know, like I feel like we're not encouraged to like try mad different things and like get multiple sources of income or even just that joy from doing it. You know, we're always like, oh, we have this hobby and that's it. And I never could relate to that because like my mind was always everywhere. You know, like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do this? And that's why a place like this is so beautiful to me because it's like a playground. I could literally, if I want to make a beat, I could do that. I want to go DJ, I could go do that. I have a shoot, I could do that. Or I could just chill and do nothing, you know what I mean? But that's rarely the case because this is a fucking playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we had the benefit too of like, I mean, you know, it definitely goes down to like parenting too, like where some parents are really traditional and they kind of like force you into a box or make you think some certain way about the future and like jobs, especially while you're going through school, you know? And my parents were very like supportive with me jumping into the creative field, knowing that I might not have a job or income in the beginning, you know, but they were supportive all throughout. Like they were there and even helped me get some things too.
And that's a beautiful thing, bro, because a lot of people don't have that, you know.
And that's the main thing. Yeah, it's like I think, you know, having that support system is super important getting into this field where it's really expressive, you know, and it's really risky. With anything creative, it's really risky because the chances of you getting sort of like used by other people that are looking for other creatives is like high chance, you know, especially for photographers and videographers.
100%.
It's a tough field, you know. So as a parent too, I could see and understand why they might be like, how about computer science?
Yeah.
How about being a lawyer, a doctor?
Yeah.
You know, it's like these like professions that are a little more secure, but it's like there's something in us that's like this. That's not exactly it. You know?
I was definitely very lucky to have like my mom who already is a creative person. Like she'll like
in her own way.
Yeah, in her own way. Like she just does so many different things, and I think that's where I get it from. Really, is like my very static like interest in different things and trying to tackle it and really hone in on those things. I definitely think I get that from her. She was super supportive. Like in the beginning, I don't know if you even knew, like I had a home studio. You know, I was shooting at my home studio in this little room that we had in the crib, and I was using that up until last year, July. You know, that's when I got this studio and I moved all that shit out of there, and now I'm here. But before that, it was just that, and I'm doing straight business shit in my home, bro. Like I'm bringing big ass clients,
best place to start.
Groups of people. Yeah. But after a while, it's like, I don't want to bring people to my home. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that at home. Like you need your own facility.
Your clients and people would meet your mom.
Oh yeah, they walk.
Yo, and nice and like
the setup is literally you walk in the crib and you're passing my kitchen to get to the home studio. So you're seeing the whole family right now. Like you might as well join the fam now, bro. It's an immediate
introduction.
It was definitely like a good soft opening to like speaking to these clients because like they just saw my whole family. You just seen my whole world. Now it's time for you to be vulnerable too, because I just gave you my whole self.
You open up.
You know what I mean? Like yourself, you just came into my world and now we're going to shoot. And I don't want to see none of that shy shit because you just saw my whole world, bro. You just saw my dog like just being a fool, running around. You just see my uncle like smoking his cigs and drinking his coffee. You know what I mean? Like
Super personal,
yeah,
super personal images,
yeah,
in your
and
life that these people are walking into.
mm-hmm,
And totally, that makes sense too. Where people
yeah,
got like, they would get super comfortable in a space
mm-hmm,
like that where they're at your home,
yeah.
And this is now a different home, but it's
It's
like a
the same
similar vibe.
principle, you know what I mean? It's the same principle because I look at this literally like a second home, you know? I come in here and I I feel literally like at peace. Like I don't gotta worry about shit when I come in here. I don't even think about work when I come in here. I work in the same building. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a whole like I
On the
close that
first floor.
door, boom, nights like this. That's it. I'm not thinking about nothing else. There's
Do you
no point.
remember when you first got your camera?
Yeah,
Like how that felt? What was the first camera that you got?
I had the well, I had some like you can't even change the lenses. It was like a little zoom already on it, and it was a Canon, I think, or a Nikon,
Yeah.
and I was shooting with that. And you know those family like Nikons that are silver and they're like really skinny, and like every family takes them on
Yeah, super
vacation. Like
portable, just
I was shooting with shit
vacation
like
images.
that before I got like a real DSLR, and then when I finally got a DSLR, I got it for Christmas, and from then on, I was like, all right, now I gotta really understand this because this is a whole new animal.
Santa.
Yeah,
Santa got you.
yo,
Was
shout
that a
out to
Christmas gift or was
Santa.
that Santa, huh? That guy, he kills it
Yeah, he
sometimes.
just knew.
He
He
knew
just
what was
knew.
going on.
I definitely bought the lens myself though, but
But
he got me the body. That's cool.
so you just had a body for a long
I had
time,
the
for a
kit
bit?
lens, like the kit, like the what is it, 18 to 55,
Yeah. They
something
have like
like
18 to
that.
55 and like 18 to 135, some
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I had the other lens too that was like a super zoom one, but I would only use that for like action stuff. But that was my first setup, and I was just using that for mad long. And you know, you just gotta make do with what you got, you know. So I knew that
Totally.
was never like the best setup, but I was making it look like I'm shooting crazy shit, and motherfuckers never knew what kind of camera I had, what kind of lenses I had. They thought I was shooting with some crazy shit. Like what I have now is what they thought I had before, and now what I have now is 10 times better than what I had before. So it's just elevation. But
Yeah.
that camera, man, I don't know. It just I knew what I was gonna do. I got that when I was like 13. I already knew what I was gonna do, bro. Like I had the plan already set out.
You knew that you wanted to get into portrait photography and sort of work
Just
within that realm.
photography in general. Portrait photography is definitely my strong suit. Like I feel like I'm able to build this connection with someone where they can just totally let their guard down, and like now I'm taking a picture of them as a person and their true essence of their self. But that's just one of the many niches that I have, you know? Like I love portrait photography though, because it really tells a story. We just looking at a straight picture of this person, you know, you could see the emotion in their eyes, you could see all that. But portrait photography is just one little thing, you know. I dab my hand in all kinds of photography, to be honest.
Yeah. When you were starting out, what was like the incentive? What was like the drive to really get into it? Was
I
it
just
portraits or was it just
it was
the
just
realm of
capturing
photography?
people in general, like in their natural state. Whether I was with my homies who were skating at CVP, I'm gonna take pictures of them skating because that's their everyday life, or music people like rappers, producers. I'm going to their studios because everything was really in my hood. Like I don't know if you know about City Line, like Greenville area, but like there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of dope shit. So I was already surrounded by a great amount of people to document. So it's just really about documenting these moments.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then miscellaneous things too. Like I was taking pictures of flowers and like the street stuff, street photography. Like it was just me understanding the complexity of this camera.
Yeah. Learning
Because
the ins and outs of it.
because opposed from like a little point and shoot type deal to a real DSLR and changing lenses, and now you're looking at settings and like ISO, shutter speed, aperture. Like these are things that I had to teach myself. I didn't have no teacher. I didn't go to a class for this. This was all self-taught. So all 10 years of me doing this was just me just figuring it out on my own, and then some tips along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Practice makes perfect, man.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. Some people really do think that if they pick up the camera, they'll, start making these images that they're looking at super easily. But it's a process. Yeah, like you got to learn those fundamentals first, and those are the main things that you just said, like shutter speed, the aperture, the ISO. Like learning those 3 things,
Then you're
golden.
golden.
You're golden.
You're
And then from there,
golden,
it's
bro.
just figuring out your style, like composing your shots. Like what do you want to like focus on? What's your main interest?
Yeah.
You know, like foreground, background, like all those other things start coming into play. But those are like the fundamental things you need to take time.
At
to
the end of the day, it's like I don't know how you feel about what I'm about to say, but I fairly think photography is mad easy to do, like settings wise. Like we could have the same settings on the same camera, but it's gonna be different because of our eye. You know what I mean? You gonna shoot something different than me, but at the end of the day, it's the same settings. You know what I mean? So I think photography is easy, but maybe that's just subjective to me because I like to do what I do, and I've been doing it for some time.
No,
but I personally think
it's got some truth behind it. Like so I think something is kind of easy if you're extremely interested in it.
Yeah.
Because basically it's easy for you to jump into like YouTube videos or just like self-research and like experimenting to learn for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think in that sense it's really easy. But then when you get into like the lighting and different sort of light sources.
Oh yeah, I
and,
mean
like,
it definitely falls under what kind of photography you're doing too, because like wedding photography is a whole other realm compared to like doing what I'm doing in here, you know?
Have you shot any weddings before?
I've done a few weddings with so I had this old mentor named Max Delgado, and he was from Jersey City, videographer, great photographer. And at the time I must have been like 15, 14, and he was like 21. And he would take me out on these gigs, and he would shoot these weddings, and it was really an experience, bro, because I'm 15 and I'm not even thinking about marriage. I'm at a wedding. So like already my attention span isn't even there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, where's the food? Where's the fun stuff? Yeah, like what's up, man? That's my favorite thing about the events. You get the free food.
The free food.
Some drinks.
Some venues don't have any
food.
Yeah. It's really tough. You don't really eat much throughout the day if you're really working, and then cocktail hour, if they don't have shit for you, then it's like, yo,
let me just get some water, man. Like I need to live.
Yeah, weddings is a good business. It is.
That's the bag right there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
If you know how to do it.
It's strange because it's like, oh, it's about love and shit, but it's really like it's a business. Like they charge for flowers, they charge for the venue, they charge for like people that are making candles and custom shit. They
everything is charged.
There's a charge for everything, and it's yeah, you know, and it's for us too, like photographers, videographers. It's just kind of like, unless you're working with somebody you really fuck with, it's kind of like a nightmare because it's constantly like, what's next? And
yeah,
then if
you
miss
gotta.
A moment,
yes,
you know?
Yo, that was my scariest thing with weddings. Is like, yo, I need to know everyone that's important in this room, which is probably everybody.
Like immediately.
Yeah, like I need to know where your grandfather is. Like you want pictures of your grandfather at the wedding, right?
Who's
like,
your grandfather?
Like, but who is he? There's like 80 old men in here. Like,
there's a lot of old people.
How am I supposed to know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really I feel bad for the weddings that I shot when I was younger because like they did not go well. Oh man, yo, me and Max went on a few adventures, bro. Shout out to Max, yo.
No, it's fun though. It's fun, you know, and it's good. I mean, for me personally, I worked with a company, Live Picture Studios, and like it helped finance my like creative side of things. You know, like I was able to get my first lens was like a Sigma 52-100. That thing is huge. It's like a fucking baby.
How much was that?
It was $1,000.
God damn.
It was $1,000. This is the other thing too in this career, man. You're trying to get these like good quality lenses or equipment.
It's all money.
It's all money.
The Sigma lens I bought at the time was like $800, and that was the most I ever spent on a lens, and that was the only lens I ever really bought. So I used that this whole time until it got taken in Cali. But
yeah, that's crazy, man. What the hell happened there? That's some crazy shit. I saw the photos, and it's the least thing you would expect to happen.
Yo, bro, it just happened so fast, dude. Oh man, I guess to make the longest story in the world short, we were at the store for 15 minutes, and within those 15 minutes, while our car is parked right across the street from the store, somebody broke the windshield, took all our backpacks, and you know, as creatives, we keep our stuff close to us. You know what I mean? So that's a backpack for me. My backpack held my whole life in there. It had my camera, my hard drive of the last 2 years, and my laptop that I've used all my life. You know, so all of that was taken in one sweep. They took my boy's laptop, and he's a graphic designer, DJ. He lost all of his stuff there. My other boy, they
Oh
took his
man.
shit. He's a producer and he's a DJ. He lost all his shit. You know what I mean? So that shit just it rocked us. You know what I mean? But
Damn, and you wish you could just fucking find the guy who did that. Or girl. I
honestly,
mean, I don't know if it was a, you know,
yo, I'm not
sneaky
gonna
girl.
put it past them. You know what I mean? Yo, men, women, they both shiesty. But
That's crazy,
I
man.
don't really dwell on it too much anymore though, cause through like the blessings that come my way, all the great connections that I've made, me being a good person to certain people, and like that all just came back full force.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I
So
saw.
I dropped the merch for my brand famous demise, and I made like $3,000 in 2 days. And that was unheard of to me. Like, bro, I've been working all my life, like doing this freelance shit. I couldn't even imagine making $3,000 in 2 days
With like your merch.
with
you're talking
merch.
about,
Not
right? Your
even something
personal
that like
shit.
I do like for real, you know? Like that shirt that I put out, I wasn't gonna put it out like that. I was gonna do a multicolor. I was gonna do some other shit, but for some reason, before we went to Cali, I made a prototype shirt, and I was just gonna wear it, shoot some content, and then that happened. I had it on my chest, and I was like, nah, I took this shit off, put it on the floor, took a picture of it, posted it. Next 2 days, I got money for a whole new laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this pimped
Wow.
out 2019 MacBook Pro, crazy
Apple, baby.
specs, graphics card through the ass. You know what I mean? Like this is a crazy computer.
Yeah, you were just basically able to upgrade because of the
because of that,
community that
yeah.
you've like sort of surrounded yourself
Literally,
with
that
and
that
built.
situation was a tragedy turned blessing. And then on top of that, like the camera that I have, the 5D, bro, this girl named Alexis Rotter. I met her like, I don't know, like when I was like 13 maybe, or 14, 15, some shit like that. There was a Green Villain event in downtown Jersey City. Do you remember the old Pep Boys that used to be next to the
Yeah,
BJs?
they fucking graffitied it
They
up. It was
graffitied
just
it
like
up, right? That was the
complete artwork.
Green Villain event. This woman who was a shooter as well, she came up to me at the time and she's like, "Yo, I'm a big fan of yours." Da 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 da. Mind you, I'm just a little kid. I'm just shooting. Like, cool. Like this person knows me. That's fire. Like dope. And I've just known her ever since. We've had a few conversations over the years. She sends me this 5D Mark II with that lens and batteries while I'm in Cali, so I could shoot some shit. Like, I couldn't believe that, bro. Like, that's literally the most
That is
single-handed, like,
crazy. You gotta shout her out.
nicest thing. Yo, Alexis Rotter, God fucking bless you. I love you. I owe you dinner. God bless.
her
I'm
some
like,
dinner.
yo, I'm getting you some food.
Dude, that's amazing, man. I think that's why social media, while it's kind of like a double-edged sword, it's definitely a blessing, you know.
Oh,
And not
yeah.
just social media, it's just being positive, you know,
Yeah.
and creating within a community. Like
That just showed, like, yo, being a good person will pay off. You just gotta do it, though. You know what I mean? Like, don't do no bad business. Don't do no bullshit. And, like, it's funny me saying that because I've definitely had my faults in the game. But for the most part, I try to do the right thing. I try to be on the right side, send people their shit, do whatever I gotta do. And then,
Yeah.
you know, that energy comes back, you know. I strongly believe in that. Like, you put in that good energy, you're gonna get it back.
No, definitely, man.
And that's been proven.
That shit was like a movie, man. So they
Yo, I
kind of
felt
broke
like
in
it.
and like took your shit, and then you had to
I had
think
to
on the
figure it
spot,
out.
like, okay, what are we gonna do next?
Yeah, literally, I took
Boom.
that whole day to grieve. Cause right when it's funny, cause I got the stuff from the store, and I went to a liquor store right after, bought a bottle of Casamigos, and I'm ready to start my trip, bro. And I walked to the car, and there's a fucking cop there, and they're talking to him about the shit, and the windshield's broken. I'm like, nah, like no way. Like I literally just like my energy
You
was
were in and
not,
out.
yo.
Yeah, it was a whole different vibe.
Oh my
15
God.
minutes before that.
Yeah, bro. That shit is so crazy. But you know, it was a lot of faults to it. And you know, I was able to bounce back faster than I ever thought I could. And now I'm back to working efficiently the way I should, and I'm getting shit going, you know?
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So we were talking about that early, man. Just having people around you that are supportive, you know,
Mhm.
not looking about it for personal gain or
Yeah.
monetary gain, but like just about the culture, just about the art.
Yeah.
And that's important, you know. I'm glad too that I'm surrounded by people that are always just willing to give a helping hand, you know.
Yeah.
And it comes from all similar interests of just creating, you know,
Mhm.
short films and music videos and all these things. Like over time, the idea is if you do a good job, you make mistakes along the way always, but if you're doing a good job and you treat people respectfully, you're going to have a strong foundation.
Yeah.
And then finally, like when something happens, like what happened with you,
That
it's like,
that'll come to light.
it'll
Like,
come to
you
light.
know what I mean?
That's
What's that
cool,
shit
man.
when shit hits the fan? Is you still a fan? Like, come on, man. Help me out.
Yeah, man, that shit definitely was like a movie.
Yeah,
It sounds
yo.
like a crazy movie.
It was a
Some
dope
heist
ass
shit.
trip though. Like right after San Francisco, our whole plan was to go to Yosemite. We were there for 4 days. Like Yosemite National Park. And we're out there hiking. We got our own little Airbnb there. Da 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 da. But I had no camera the whole time. So in the midst of like tripping balls off acid in the middle of these mountains and hiking, I'm falling in love with photography again. Like because I didn't have a camera the whole time, I'm like, I wish I had a camera to take a picture of this scenery, or I wish I had a camera to record this, do that. And I didn't. I had my phone, and like I did what I could with my phone, but that was just some personal stuff, I guess. But
The phone
fell
goes
in
a
love with
long
the
way.
idea, like of like, yo, I really want to take a picture of this. I want to remember this moment like for what it is, and that's why I would do the phone. But I fell in love with the idea that like, yo, like I want to capture these moments, and it just put the battery back in my back, yo, like ready to just come back
Boom.
home and do shit. Mind you, that was like halfway into my trip. So as soon as I came to LA, got the camera, I went to shooting, bro. Like I hit up
Crazy.
mad people that I already knew, and I shot with a few friends, and like,
Yeah, I saw you shot with Cleo.
oh yeah,
Who I know.
Cleo,
Cleo's
yes,
awesome.
yes,
She's a
yo.
lot of
I
fun.
love Cleo, man. I've known her for a long time too. And she's just another person that like that just shows like that was a good relationship that I had with her in the past. And like even years later, like I could go to a whole nother state, link her, and still do the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
So like that was
Super
fire.
cool, man.
I shot with this girl, Alex, that back in 2015, I was in Cali. I was shooting a gig in some park, and I see this girl, Alex, that's dressed mad cool, and like she was just taking pictures on her phone. So I asked her, complete stranger, hey, like, can I take pictures of you? Like, you look cool. Like, take pictures of you? She's like, yeah. I take pictures of her, and then I'm like, yo, I'm only out here for a couple more days. Can I shoot with you again? We shoot again the next day. And then I never saw her again up until going to Cali again this time. I hit her up. She literally drove to me, and like we shot again by Venice Beach and shit. And that shit was so sick. And that's just another product of like, just be a good person.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna come back, because that was a whole stranger, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no clue who this person was prior to walking into that park. And then, you know, what is it? 5-6 years later, I could hit her up again and be
Still
like,
there.
what's up? Let's shoot. And she'll do it. Like, come on, man. That's a clear sign. Like, be a good person when you meet these people, when you have these encounters, and that shit could last forever. And in the long run, might benefit you if you need it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know what I mean?
And it's cool because I think that's like an important aspect of photography. It's a tool to sort of open up these doors, you know. People, I think, you know, when you have a camera, people just naturally might trust you a little more. And if you're just being, obviously like super open and innocent, obviously like you're gonna approach somebody you do genuinely think has a dope fit on, it just looks cool.
Yeah,
you know,
bro.
it's just like, yo, can I shoot you? And it's a very genuine thing, you know. And then the other benefit of like just social media is like they see you once you like edit the shit and you upload it. It's like, oh, this person's dope as fuck. You got all this fucking catalog of work, you know.
It's
5
like,
years
now
later,
I'm about
4
to be
years
part of
later.
that. Like, what?
Yeah, man.
I think that's
why
what
I love
excites people
photography.
too.
Yeah.
Is like the being part of something. You know what I mean? Like,
Always, man. Always. People always want to be a part of something.
yeah.
Hence all these different sort of collectives and groups. And, you know, I mean, especially once you start making something, it's like that's where other people are like, yo, can I be in that shit?
Yeah.
What's going on? Can I join in? You know?
Yeah, that's kind of like how this was put together, you know, just a bunch of like-minded individuals that we all do different kinds of things, but we knew that if we put it in one hub, like it could benefit, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Like all of us have our own little things that we do, and we just come here to the one big creative space, you know.
Yeah. I think it's good to have people differentiate too with interests and things like that, you know.
There's
If you
no
get-
one stepping on their toes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, I think that was the thing that was going on with like I-78.
Mm.
That was kind of where like, you know, there's like a lot of similarities with the group, and it was like good. It was a good cohesive sort of, you know, it started like with 6 of us, same thing with similar interests and stuff
There
like
was
that.
6 of y'all?
Yeah, it's just all of
I
us
thought
as
there was
friends.
like 4 of y'all.
Same thing about like fucking. We went to California. We went out there for a vacation. Like 11 of us, just all
It was
friends.
11 of y'all?
Nah, just all
Oh,
friends.
okay,
Not
okay.
everybody was interested in doing this whole, you know, bigger thing. But
Yeah.
like it was 11 of us. We went out there, and it was a great time. California is definitely healing. Like we
Oh,
went
yeah.
to LA too. You know, hiking, all that sort of shit. The nature walks, and just the fact that you can go into a dispensary and just like buy whatever sort of shit you want.
Yeah.
You know? It was just really relaxing. And there was like a natural sort of creating flow between all of us there, you know. So when we came back, we brought it with that same energy, you know. But then slowly I think we realized like a lot of us wanted to do similar things, but the drive just wasn't there for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so then from 6 it went to 5, and then it went to 4, and then it was just like 3 main people trying to run like a company, which is hard, you know, trying to run the idea at least of a company. And all the responsibilities sort of falling on the 3 of us, and it just became like too strenuous.
Yeah,
so
I 100% feel you on that. There's 4 of us, and we're trying to keep this afloat, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like how you roll with the punches, you know, and how you treat each other, and learn from one another, and like respectfully kind of like avoid like criticism and condemning, but like being constructive, you know, about like mistakes and build, so, you know, you're building something together. So this is like big idea, especially with the space you guys have, which is like super, it's so flexible with what you guys can do, you know. That's always just got to be the main thing. Like that's always like the exciting thing. It's like there's so much potential, you know, and there's already so much shit you guys done, you know, and it's just like, where do we go from there?
Yeah, that was the conversation I was having with my partner yesterday, was like just expansion, the talk of expansion, and like how do we push this even further, you know. And now our biggest project is this next room, like build that to be the best photo studio you ever walk in. You know what I mean? I want that to be on call. Anybody, you thinking about a photo studio, you thinking about this place. You thinking about 39th Street in Union City, nights like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Room A, and then this is room B. You know what I mean? And then hopefully expand more. We got a room C, D. We got a warehouse of our own. You know,
yeah,
like
just do every sort of different thing you can do in these different rooms.
Yeah,
like it was a good time when we had the screening here. Revelations. Shout out to Raheem.
Yo, word.
That screening was pretty dope. Bro. Smooth flow, you know, and it felt good. This whole space has like a nice sort of like family vibe to it.
Thank you, man.
I think that's rooted from your first home studio.
I definitely take that same energy and bring that here, you know. Like the stuff that I brought was literally the only things that I had from home was the backdrop and like the 3-point lighting, and that's it. So that same flow, that same energy, I took that as soon as the rack was put up, I was ready to shoot. But even before that, this was just an empty room. I already marketed it like, oh, this is the studio to go to. We didn't even have shit yet, but I shot like 6 things that same week just because I posted it. Like,
you gotta be hungry, man. You gotta be constantly like on top of your own self, you know.
That's really it, bro. You gotta hustle with this shit because there's a billion other people doing the same thing as you. So how do you get it in people's faces and make them want to fuck with you and not the next thing or the next thing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the internet too. I don't know what it is. I guess I have like this superpower that if I post some shit, it's gonna run up a little bit. Like I really feel, bro, I could sell anything. I've been selling coquito with my mom. I'm selling those face masks. I'm selling clothes. Like, bruh, like the possibilities are endless, you know, for me. And then now I apply that same mentality with this. I promote this as much as I want, and then I'll get the bookings that I need. You know, it's as simple as like I'll post a picture of a stool in the backdrop. Who am I shooting next? I got 10 messages of 10 people with 10 different concepts, and now that's my month right there, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's my month of activities to do and have some fun and make people's visions come to life. I love that shit.
You're definitely using Instagram as a tool the right way. You know, there's people that get lost there's people that get lost in the cloud of it. They get lost in the numbers game, which is risky. You know, you can't be focusing on those things. It's mostly like I'm paying attention to the engagement. Like I want to create that like sort of natural engagement with my audience and people. You know, you can't really stick to numbers, and like that's what depresses people, like how many likes their image gets. Like if it's like a happy photo of themselves and you get like 15 likes, it's like, oh, this wasn't a good photo.
Like I'm not even happy now. Like,
yeah,
you know, like that's horrible.
They connect their happiness to, you know, these numbers that are ultimately, you know, meaningless,
and they're not even real, bro. These numbers aren't even real, you know what I mean? Like, I look at my Instagram as literally a portfolio now. That's just my online portfolio, and Instagram is probably like the number one thing that brings out a crazy audience. You know, I don't really think of any other source of an application or something like that for that, other than like Twitter. But Twitter is like Twitter's a whole personal, hard game. You know, like Instagram is a lot more easier, I would say.
It's always been based on images. And I think that's what's always been helpful.
All these apps,
all that.
Yeah, all these apps were always based on like, you're gonna post a picture, but I don't know. Instagram just took the fucking ball, dude. Yeah, they just took the whole thing because they're just trying to adapt to everything. They want to take every app you could think of and just put it in there.
It's kind of fucked up, yeah.
They're just creating a monopoly.
They just eat everything up.
Yeah. Even when they're doing it legally, bro. They're doing it legally too, because they're just changing shit around and taking these concepts and doing it better. Like, have you heard of Clubhouse?
No.
So Clubhouse is a new application. It's kind of like a word of mouth thing, but it's become a lot more popular. And it's kind of like a podcast situation where you can join a room and it could be as many people in this room and they can all just listen, but it's live. You know, so Instagram is now doing like a group talk thing like that. You can add like as many up to 50 people into a video chat now on Instagram. Apparently, that's like a whole new upgrade. Like they're just trying to take everything, bro.
Man. You don't even. It makes sense because they want to stay on top.
Yeah,
they want to stay on top, so they kind of have to like take a little bit. Like I remember when stories first started, we're like, oh, they're just copying Snapchat.
Yes.
And then like, and now Snapchat. Now Snapchat's just kind of cool, but it's now just kind of like on the side.
Bro, I have it. I don't even use it. Like, I went on it the other day and I seen that people were still using it, and I was just like, no one's seeing like this shit. App. Yeah,
who's
like seeing this shit, bro?
It's so weird. It's so strange. It's definitely because too, like Facebook bought it, so like Instagram just got this huge, like beast backing it, you know, and providing it with that sort of power to just kind of take these things and smoothly incorporate it to the point where you don't even think about it. Like the stories came and it's like, oh, they stole Snapchat. Fucking week later, everybody's using it. They're not even thinking about the fact that it's like
it's like a mental thing, bro. It's literally a mental thing. That I love Instagram for what it is, but I do hate like where it's going, because like the whole thing with the algorithm, or like, I don't know if you noticed, but my TL is mainly just sponsored posts now. I was talking about this literally yesterday. Like, I'm seeing posts of just random shit, dude.
Well, you know, every 3 posts, you're gonna
see a sponsor.
You're gonna see a sponsor.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
Wow.
It's pretty fucked up. So
I've seen like 3 consecutive sponsored posts after another.
That's just people promoting the shit out of
it. But it's like, bro, what is going on? Like, who is teaching y'all how to do this? Because this is kind of getting crazy. I'm seeing selfies. I'm not even seeing businesses. Like, I would be cool if like I'm seeing business sponsor posts, like, oh, a clothing brand or like some shit. But no, it's like a shorty with her dog, or like a dude just posted at
personality.
It's like, bro,
Instagram personality.
That's
the whole
weird,
thing too.
Bro.
The Instagram stuff.
Oh, like the influencer type
the
shit?
Influencer shit.
I mean,
good and bad.
In a way, everyone's just an influencer. You know, like whatever you can do can influence. But that concept is what's gotten people too over their heads with it. You know, like you could just be a regular person, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to do the crazy posts or like trying to curate your page. Like, it's not that deep. You could just be a regular person. I used to curate my page. Like, I used to post in 3s, only in 3s. And that was my rule.
A lot of people were fucking limiting themselves like that.
They're
just like, I gotta be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Like, oh, if you look at my page, it's all fire. Like, now I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that.
I'm on the same boat.
And time, too. You know how people think too much about time? Like, oh, I can't post right now. Nobody's on their phone. Like, how the fuck do you know? You don't know, bro. Like, we're in one time zone right now. There's motherfuckers 3 hours like before us. You know what I mean?
It's all thrown out the window with the algorithm.
Yeah.
So people are like, with that sort of processing, It's
Bro,
like outdated thinking.
I post at like 1, 2 in the morning, and sometimes that's the most likes I've ever gotten. Or I'll post in the afternoon. Like it's not set to a time. It's never set to a time for me, at least. Like, I'm gonna just post however freely it's gonna go. And if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you're gonna see it eventually, because I'm gonna post it up on my story.
On the story,
Someone's gonna
yeah, it's
repost
so
it.
easy to
You're gonna
just
see
sort
it
of
eventually,
re-show it
bro.
to
Like,
people.
I don't care about who don't see it. It's the people that do see it that I'm happy about.
It's one of the things too to let go about like that shit, because social media stresses a lot of people out just because of that. Like, what time do I post? It's like, oh, how do I get the most engagement? Oh, it's like letting go of all those things. And I think it starts with that, like posting at specifically 12 o'clock, posting specifically at this time. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Just share what you want to share. You're giving yourself
unrealistic expectations, because
Yeah,
you're like,
with that
oh,
sort of
I'm
mentality.
posting at 12, so everyone's waking up right now. So they're gonna open their phones. They're
Like
gonna
you're
see
a
my
fucking
post.
scientist.
Yeah, like you're doing the whole math in your
scientist.
head. You know that meme of Zach Galifianakis, and it's like all the numbers. I think it's from The Hangover. He's just like trying to do math or some shit.
Yeah, it's that's floating shit.
Yeah. That's that shit, bro. That's what motherfuckers think they're doing, but it's not that deep, bro.
It's not that deep, man.
You could just post your shit and just live your life, man. It's not that deep. It's really not. Like, create freely. Yeah.
Let's cut right here, because this phone is getting me concerned.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
We back, man, on Joe Budden's podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to backtrack to sort of like what we talked about just before. I think one of the best things is just that you can find a lot of inspiration on social media, because that's actually how I did find out about you and started following you years back, when we were both just really, I think, starting our shit, but you were already into the game, and I think that's what I found inspiring, like how old you were doing it, and just like the quality of content you were putting out, and like already the community I was seeing that you were kind of forming around you.
Yeah, it was just bro, I don't think you understand that where we live, we are so lucky, bro. We are so lucky to like live in Jersey City and be amongst like all these beautiful artists that like just really follow their dreams and do what they want to do, because like if it wasn't for that, then I would have never really done what I did. Being around Petey and Craze, the work ethic was crazy. Seeing them just do shows, or like that energy was just there, and just seeing how they ran their selves as a business.
They're a unique duo, man.
Oh yeah,
their dynamic is insane. Yeah, it's so good.
And those been my brothers since the very beginning. Like, they seen me start taking pictures. I was doing their music videos before I didn't even do music videos, but I did it for them because like those was my peoples, and like I wanted to help them however I could, and that just propelled into a whole nother realm for me too. So we're really lucky to live where we live, because there's just so much to be inspired by. You know what I mean? Not even by the people, but just the area itself. And
definitely.
We're just so lucky, bro.
Definitely, man. There's so many artists. And that's the thing, too. There's always something new, There's always somebody out there that you could find.
You got to think about, like, places that don't have that. Like, they not having shows the way we were having shows. They weren't having events the way we were having events, Like, we did something special in the last couple years in Jersey City, The Jersey City as a whole, like, the art community, we did something special, bro. And I don't know where it's at really now, but
with COVID,
yeah, COVID really puts a pause on like a lot of things. Like, even with nights like this, it hit us really, really bad, because we were supposed to do events. Nights like this was brewing from a party me and my partner Leo did back in December 2 years ago. This is before I even knew I wanted to DJ. I talked to him about wanting to collab, because we both had brands. We were like, yo, let's collab on some shit. And he had a DJ controller there, and I would just fuck around a little bit. And then we're thinking like, yo, our fucking release party is gonna be sick, dude. Like, we didn't even have a concept for a brand yet. Like, we had no collab yet. We just knew we wanted to throw a party now for whatever collab that's gonna be. And then we threw that party, had no brand. We didn't even sell merch. I think I gave out merch for free because I was so drunk. And then nights like this came from that. You know what I mean? Like, me and him just talking about that. And that's a genuine interaction. Natural. And I only knew him through Instagram. I knew of him through Instagram and like some mutual friends. But like, that would have never happened if it wasn't for that little connection, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And
no, it's cool. It's cool how it brings people together.
yeah, it's organic.
If you use it the right way.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's the main thing.
Exactly.
That's cool, man. And yeah, and then COVID fucked up a lot of plans. But
Yeah.
I saw that statement circling around like social media, like where if you weren't hustling during COVID, you're not a hustler. Like this world isn't for you. If like you weren't like grinding during COVID, like figuring shit out, then this environment isn't for you. Like DJs, anybody creative, like DJs are going online with their shit, IG Live, and like people were.
Well, how do you feel about that statement? Do you agree with it?
Yeah,
a lot of people don't agree with it.
I think
saw a lot of controversy about that.
I fucked up. I definitely butchered the statement, but
no, that's exactly how it was.
Right?
Yeah, that's how it was. Like the
you gotta
statement.
hustle.
P Diddy posted it, and
P.
then
Diddy.
that's what
That's
caused the controversy about that.
P Diddy.
Yeah.
And P Diddy's one of the craziest hustlers. I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck? His journey in his life, he can say that.
Yeah, but the argument that people are having is that like he is a man now with money and he's in a position to do whatever the fuck he wants. There's a lot of people that don't have those same kind of, situations, or like they maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know. I understand that aspect, but for me, I agree with the post because that's just in me already. Like I wasn't going to sit around here and be not doing shit. Like we opened this in the middle of the pandemic. Like it's just kind of a crazy thing to do, you know what I mean? Like, oh, let's open a studio, but nobody could really leave their house. Or nobody could go out nowhere, you know what I mean? Let's open up a studio, like crazy.
Nerve-wracking. Definitely a little nerve-wracking.
Crazy as fuck.
No, I think the statement stands true because I mean, during COVID, it was interesting that we can kind of take a time to breathe and like sort of figure ourselves out more, and plan trajectory and just like settle down, because we were in like a fucking hustle bustle sort of thing where we were like rolling nonstop, but at the same time, like time is so valuable, and I think that's how we are similar too. We appreciate time, and we know that it can't go to waste, so like by hustling, I mean too, like not trying to just get money, but like just doing some shit. Like I started doing the skits because now I have this time. It's like, okay, maybe I should get on YouTube and see how that is, So I started shooting by myself, editing by myself, like micing myself up, doing these skits. And I loved it, because I've always loved SNL and I love like those sort of comedy shit, and I wanted to do them myself. So I hustled during like that March, April, May period, creating these things mostly for myself, but also to help the I78 YouTube sort of grow, So that's what I mean by hustling. Like I don't mean trying to get dough and trying to get money. That's not the main focus. But like what's your field, and then like what are you doing to like propel yourself further in that field? Like I learned a lot about just like masking and editing, about like doing those skits, and I was writing scripts too, so I was getting comfortable with writing. Like that's what I mean by hustling. Like you keep creating, you keep doing something, expanding your knowledge. And if you're not doing that, then yeah, I mean it rings true. Then you're not really a hustler. Like what were you doing? Chilling, not expanding. Like,
I feel like now it holds truth because there's been so much time into it. Maybe in the beginning couple months, like it was probably hard for people to adjust. But like we're a year in this shit now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you've really been just doing nothing this whole time. Like, damn, bro. Like and you only banking on unemployment. Like that's the thing. I didn't get unemployment until like way later into the pandemic, because I was just like ignorant about it. Like I never did taxes before. I never did shit like that, So I got on it pretty late. But that's just extra bread. I'm not banking on that. That I get 208 a fucking week. I'm not getting. That's not shit, bro. Like I'm sorry. That's not shit to like live and like do what I'm trying to do and move around.
You gotta hustle.
So I had to do that. You know what I mean? But in the same time, that's when I learned how to DJ, and I was really like how you're saying you were learning how to mask and do all this shit because you had the time for it, And what I strongly kept telling people is like, now we have all the time in the world. The world is kind of on pause. Well, at the time, it was really on pause.
Really on pause.
Now everything's regular as fuck.
Yeah.
But at the time, like I had all the time in the world to like just learn what I wanted to learn. So every day I'm trying to DJ, every day I'm trying to do that. And at the time I wasn't really shooting much because I was having so much fun doing that. And then now brewing this concept that came into fruition in July. So yeah, man, the hustler shit, bro, that's just if it's in you, it's in you.
Dude,
and if
I
it's
know
not,
people that
you gonna have to learn it, or you probably you're not gonna get there.
I know people that you know, even outside of the creativity shit, you know, like people that were getting unemployment but also getting shit under the table, like doing delivery service, driving, or like even, you know, fucking selling weed or whatever the fuck, you know. They just found like different venues to keep making money, because, you know, on top of all the extra time, you know, people still had to pay bills, rent, and all that shit.
Exactly.
So that's where that comes into play too. Like, you know,
it's like you're not going to just sit there. You're not just going to sit there. You got rent to pay. And then I feel like a lot of people
hustling, bro, you're not a hustler.
Yeah, it hurts to say that, but it's so true in this circumstance, because it's like, bro, like, I don't know, like my mom is like the number one person that showed me like you could just do it. You know, my mom took the opportunity, seen that, oh, we need masks for this whole situation. I'm gonna make the best mask that is out. You know, we're only gonna sell it for $8. You know, like,
so she made some custom.
She made custom masks that like the pattern is nice too, where it covers over your nose, over your mouth, adjusts, and she did it right. You know, she saw an opportunity and came up with a solution. And then we made some bread off that, you know, and then the coquito over the winters, you know, like that's just another thing, you know, like I definitely get the hustler shit from my mom, bro.
Word, yeah. It comes from somewhere always.
Oh
it
God,
comes
bro.
From somewhere always.
You know, and yeah, bro, like if he was really doing nothing this whole time, it's crazy to me to even hear that, because
it's sad. I was drinking a lot too, though. I think that was a drive. I was drinking like whiskey specifically, and I just
what whiskey?
Jameson,
that's a good one.
A lot of Jameson. That's like my main go-to.
Yeah.
And I would just kind of lose myself in my ideas, and I would perform some things on camera, like for the skits.
Yeah.
A little tipsy, just getting comfortable, you know. But I think that, like, because it was just such a weird switch up, you know, like the double digits sounded so good. 2020 coming into January, like, bro, this is it. 2020 gonna be the year. Pandemic just stopped all that shit.
Yeah.
So like, all the extra time, I was really like, I wasn't getting drunk, I wasn't getting crazy, but I was sipping a lot more and just being a lot more open and accepting about like these silly ideas that I had. I was always like really trepidatious about like shooting myself in front of the camera, like, I'm not sure if I could do it. It's like, oh, I gotta write all these like things that you literally stop yourself sometimes, right, from doing shit. And then with all that extra time and just like enjoying myself and learning more about myself, I was like, let's experiment. Let's do this shit.
Because you probably found it like, oh, people might like this too. Like people might fuck with my humor.
I was trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, man. I think you did that too, you know? And even Sid's video was sick too. Like I liked Sid's video over the pandemic too. I don't know if like you guys worked on that together or something.
No, that was all him and his brother, man.
Wow,
but the
nice.
idea was being like expanding that YouTube channel
to
be like
I
funny,
thought that was like, yo, I thought y'all was about to hit the whole internet with a crazy wave of videos.
We were gonna, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you still can. I mean, this is a whole new extension of that same
here we
thing
are.
too.
This is a lot of the inspiration, you know, came from that original leap into YouTube and trying to figure out that whole internet landscape.
You know, I like when cameramen or camera women really put themselves out there, and like, you know, it's very common that you don't even know what the photographer looked like, because it's all pictures of shit that they've taken, so you don't even know what they look like. I love when a camera person is putting themselves out on the forefront and like, this is who I am. And that's why I really went so hard with my shit, was because before, it was definitely an ego thing too. Before, like, I was definitely lost in the fucking sauce, but I seen that like people looked at photographers like we weren't lit. Like, what the fuck you mean, bro? I'm making you look good. Like, it's my job to make you look beautiful. Like, I'm a key piece to like this whole process of yours.
A person's branding is revolving around
the images. Exactly. So I looked at it like, bro, nah, we're cool as hell, and we can be cool as hell, and I'm gonna showcase that. So I really was like, I was trying to be like this rock star photographer, bro. I'm going to these events, I'm taking the pictures, I'm smoking blunts and turning up. I'm moshing with my camera, bro. I'm literally moshing with everybody with my camera.
Damn,
like I'm having a baby.
Hard time doing that.
Nah, I've done it so many times. Like, it's very, very anxious.
Onto it.
Definitely very anxious. But like, it's shit like that, you know? Like, I really wanted to showcase like the photographer is cool too, you know? And I loved when I seen that you were doing more stuff showing yourself, because it's very rare. Like, another prime example is like Nabil. Nabil never used to take pictures of himself. No one knew what he looked like, but then something happened, bro. I don't know what it was in Nabil, but something happened. He was
got
like
more comfortable.
Yeah,
with
he got more
himself.
comfortable with himself. He started getting the fits together. He started dyeing his hair.
I
Like,
remember that coming
bro,
out. Yeah.
when I seen that, I was like, yes, exactly. Like, exactly. Like, and he's not limiting himself to just a photographer too. This is also in the process of him trying new things.
Yeah.
So like that's also another extension of that. Is like just trying new shit and finding more self-awareness.
That's why I fucking love you guys, man. 'Cause that's what I'm all about. Like, just try something, you know. And if it hits, it hits. And hey, I mean, that's not even the idea. You're just trying something for yourself, and then you work with it. If people fuck with it heavy, you know.
That's why I fuck with the build too, cause like, bro, a lot of his ideas was just like spur of the moment jokes or some shit. Like Fake Plant Club started because I made a joke about his fake plants on one of the Twitch streams when we were doing like the Chilltown like DJing thing. So he had a slot time, and I was like later on that I had to play, but I seen his, and we just started commenting about his plants. And then like the next day, he already has a design. Fake Plant Club now just starts.
Fuck,
boom,
man. He's
and
an
then,
idea man.
Yeah, and then boom,
idea,
now
man.
he just did a collab with Prosper.
I saw that,
and that's through
dope.
Fake Plant Club. You know what I mean? That was just like him, just random shit. Random funny shit. And then now he just did this pasta shit. I don't know if you've seen.
I've seen the pasta shit.
The gabagool, bro.
The gabagool.
Like, now,
I watched
how
the first
hard
episode
is
of
it,
Sopranos
bro?
last night, man.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into
it.
Sopranos.
You have to.
You've seen the whole.
It's such a good. No, I'm just getting into
it.
And the first episode, the pilot is already so good. The
Word.
gabagool. They mentioned it. And I was like, I gotta look at like what is it? Are they gonna show a plate of it?
Yeah.
Never showed it.
You don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm only
but that's
watching
why
it to see
like the Bill is a genius, because he just tapped into a whole new other realm. You know what I mean? He just put out shirts that just have pasta names on them in cool colorways, and that's gonna fucking sell, bro. It's gonna sell.
He knows like.
He knows his market.
He knows his market, and he fucks with just relatable shit. I mean, like a lot of like the stuff that he would put out too is related to like anime and things like that people really fuck with, and a lot of people in his audience, including me, you know.
Yeah.
But also just his designs too are just really cool. Even like the Some Days Off shirts, you know, like I copped like 3 of them, one with the dog and like one with a car. It's just a vibe.
But you see, like that's just 3 different like mini companies that we just mentioned.
Dude, don't limit yourself.
Exactly,
man.
bro.
That's you let your idea get out there, see how it does. If it goes anywhere, okay. If it doesn't, it's out there.
I'm completely strong on like, just have several lanes of whatever you're trying to do. Money wise, maybe one is gonna be more than the other, or 2 is gonna be more than the other, but like at least you have these different lanes. Yeah. It's like stocks, bro. It's like investments. You know,
it's definitely like stock
portfolio. You want a stock portfolio.
Tacked up.
And some things might give you $10, some things might give you $5, whatever. Like, you gonna get something from it though, you know, whether it's money or it's knowledge. You're just gonna keep learning and keep growing. And that's why I mentioned the Bill, because he definitely was a person that inspired me to want to take that type of action in life. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have DJ'd, because he gave me my first gig. Him and Steph Gianni, they gave me my first gig, bro. Yes.
Work in progress.
Yo, Whip was like crazy of a concept too, because like it was literally him just saying like, yo, I'm not really a DJ, but like I kind of know what I'm doing.
I'm working at it.
And I'm gonna play what I want to play. Yeah. And that was my whole thing. Like if I'm gonna DJ, I don't want to be one of those DJs that like, you know, radio friendly, like that's it.
Yo,
like,
what's up? I'm Andy.
Yeah, like,
I'm here to spin some tracks for you. I hope you have a good time.
Here's the top 40. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Have your fucking buttons.
Like, nah, bro. Like, it's about having fun, and that's his whole thing. Is he's just having fun. So
he's a fun guy, man.
That shit hit me so like in the soul, bro. Like
in the spirit.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm gonna take pictures. I'm gonna DJ. Now I'm trying to make beats. Like, he really put it in my mind that like I could do whatever the fuck I want if I just put in the time, and that's exactly what it is. Just put in the time, and you gonna do all right with whatever you're doing. Like with this example, like first example, this is the first episode. Imagine what the 10th episode is gonna be like. You know, whatever little flaws that happen today, they're not gonna happen on the 10th episode, and I know you're not gonna let that happen. No, you know what I mean? Because it happened. It happened already. You know, so
hunchback.
Yeah,
you
like
know, I don't want to hurt my guests. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Got to get the better chairs. You know, but I'm
traveling right now, man. I'm traveling. I'm open to just linking up with people that want to do this, you know,
Yeah.
have a good ass talk, have a good conversation. And yeah, man, like you said, definitely everything grows.
Yeah.
Everything grows, you know. You get an idea and that's just the fucking seed.
It's a
Sprouts into
plan,
something
bro.
better. That's the
Exactly.
idea. And that's why you gotta hustle. If you're not hustling,
yeah, it's
where are
not gonna
things
go
gonna go?
nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go nowhere because you're not putting in the time. You're not putting in that work. A lot of people just want the end result.
It's like immediate. People,
Yeah.
it takes work to get to the
People that think
point
like
B.
that though are the people that got life handed to them all their life. You know, like oh, you want this? Here you go. It was too easy. You know what I mean? And like it wasn't like that. It wasn't really like that for me. You know.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to get it on my own, and it was just
cool.
like
It's happened. I mean, here we are, man.
yeah.
Just to even, you know, come back to the studio.
Word. I love this place.
You have so you have 4 members.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's like the
4 including me, yes. There's me who takes the pictures and you know, I'm just here all the fucking time as much as I can. We have Leo De Niro, who is a DJ, graphic designer. This dude does mad shit. He could do it all, bro. He made our logo. Like the Nights Like This logo, he made that, you know?
Dope.
He makes the filters. He helped make, he made the website. He helps like with everything that on the technical side that we don't know, that's him. Then we got Julian. Julian is a DJ, vinyl DJ and music producer. You know what I mean? He brings a whole new element to the game now when it's just me and Leo. Now you got Julian who does music production. That's a whole new extension. And then now we have Dre Rodner, who is another music producer, and that's a whole other extension too now, you know? So we have right now it's 3 elements. We have the DJing stuff that we can rent out and people do their rehearsals or whatever they want to do, live streams. You can do that there. You come in and plug in your laptop and work off our controller or the keyboard or whatever you want, you know what I mean? And then we got the photo stuff. You could either book me or you could use it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's a real big powerhouse and everyone has something to offer, and it's really a beautiful thing, bro.
Yeah,
it's really
it sounds like
thing.
a good ecosystem, definitely, where everything just kind of plays into one another, and that's
what I was telling you.
thing.
It's like a playground, bro. Like literally like a playground for not only myself but for the clients. You know, maybe I'll get somebody that wants to book a shoot, but then they come in here and they're like, "Oh, I always wanted to learn how to DJ." Oh, all right, word. Let's talk some numbers. I'll teach you right now.
Right
You
now.
know what I mean? Like,
Fuck the shoot.
Like,
Let's get to it.
Let's do the shoot first.
Yeah,
Then after,
right.
after, we could talk that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the
That's
the
great.
idea is this is
That's
the
a great
place
environment.
to learn. This is the place to experiment, and this is the place to grow. You know, this is where your fucking dreams come true. You just gotta
Amen.
come. You just gotta be present, like how you said earlier. You know, you literally just gotta be present. And yeah, man. I literally walk in here, I feel stronger every day. So yeah, one day you're gonna see me swole and be like,
Swole
hold
as hell.
exactly,
Just
like,
creativity, bro.
holding a camera
just
with my
creativity,
pinky. Like I'm gonna hold my 5D with a pinky.
Not
just-
even. It's just gonna float wherever you want. Wherever you want, you
yeah,
turn your eye.
exactly.
Where can people find you, man?
Instagram is the #1 place. Everything, all my socials are all on the same thing. Andy LVLAC. It's not Andy Livlac. Let's let that be known right now.
Yeah.
It's not Andy Livlac. It's not Andy Lilac. My name is Andy Mack.
Andy
The
Lilac.
LVL.
Tell them.
LVL makes an M. I made it on AIM. Forgive me. There's somebody that already has Andy Mack and they don't even post.
I know.
Bro,
That's painful
that's
when that happens.
everyone, bro. Like, oh, I hate that dude. I hit him up 1 billion times and he just won't give me the account. Or he probably just doesn't even use it. I'm about to report him. Yo, everybody that watches this, type in Andy Mack and report him.
Let's get him off the gram.
Let's get him off the
that guy
gram, bro.
off the gram.
I need that because I'm tired of Andy Livlac.
Get him out.
I'm tired of that shit.
You've
bro.
had it for a minute. You've had it for as long as I remember.
What really works is that it was just an original name. So like, I was like, I'm never gonna run into issues. Yeah, I'm never gonna run into issues with that. Like, you type that into Google, like you're seeing only me, which is fine. So now I want to really tie in like the LVL. I need to do something with that. You know, like it has to be branded in some kind of way that now it makes sense because people don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
I literally get, yo, you're Andy LeVlack, right? I'm like,
What?
who? Like the Snoop
You let
Dogg.
them know though. You let them know though, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
dude, thank you for being a part of this. First episode.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Can't wait till the next one, man.
Nah, yeah, bro. I'm looking forward to the next episodes and all the crazy, wacky characters you must find and know.
We'll see. We'll see where it goes, man.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
Peace,
brother.
guys.
Blessings.